official proofreader.
The Board of Parks and Recreation Commissioners of Kansas City, Missouri meeting for August 13th, 2024 is hereby called to order. Will Secretary Houston please call roll?
Commissioner Smith?
Present.
Commissioner Contreras?
Here.
Commissioner Taylor?
Present.
Commissioner Garentz? President Hayden?
Here.
Director Cotton?
Here.
Thank you. And welcome back to Commissioner Contreras.
Good night.
All right, the first item on the agenda is the approval of the July 23rd, 2024 board minutes. Do any of my fellow board members have any changes or comments to this item?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Items passed. Next item on the agenda is resolution number 32608, considering board approval, authorizing staff to move forward with implementing a road diet and a closure of portion of roads in Kessler Park by the reservoir. Deputy Director Richard Allen is the sponsor of this memo.
All right. Good afternoon, Commissioners. Richard Allen. At the last board meeting, the board approved the Kessler Park Master Plan. Within that plan, there was several recommendations, but one of the main items that we kept hearing from the community is the improved safety. And so the reservoir, as outlined in the memo, was a structure that was built in 1921. It lasted for 10 years, and then a modern water distribution system was developed. So it's become kind of a landmark and then also an attractive nuisance over the years. There's a series of roadway that goes around the reservoir. It's easy access in, easy access out. We've had issues with legal activity, from dumping to prostitution to drug use and random gunfire. And so we were approached by the neighbors and says we need to do something. So in this packet, there's an exhibit. Right now, the reservoir has 4 access roads that goes into that area that loops around the reservoir. What we would like to do is remove 2 of them and then create a one-way road, and then over time we'll assess on how these improvements either improve safety, and then but the neighborhood is in support of this, and so it is a recommendation from the master plan, and we'll be glad to answer any questions.
Can you,
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Commissioner Smith.
oh, thank you. Can you talk about the intended utilization of that one-way street? Are we keeping it open for safety access, or?
I think for emergency vehicles, and then also we're going to give a run at it to allow it still to be used for vehicular access for a one-way, and then it'll be controlled at those 2 points. But also something that we would like to do is put gates at both of those points where we could close the gates at certain times.
Okay, because I was just curious why we're
Yeah.
keeping it open
Yeah.
if we're trying to solve for those
Yeah.
things.
Emergency vehicles is probably the main one.
Okay.
Richard, is the one that's going to be closed permanently going to be by the Van Brunt side? That's got gating now.
The one that's closed will be up on St. John. It's kind of the Y intersection.
Yes.
And then the one right up at Wabash and Lexington, there's kind of like a double entrance. We're going to take out one of those. It's kind of a dangerous intersection anyway, so.
Thank you.
Well, I'm really happy to see already some movement on the master plan that we just approved at the last meeting, and from the comments we heard from the public last meeting, I think they'll be pleased to see already some responses to that, so thank you.
Have you all chatted with KCPD on just their thoughts on blocking that off one way, making it a one way? Any
On that
conversations with them?
is, they were at this initial public meeting that we had with the neighbors, and then we'll reach out to them again before it happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that will be managed by our team. I see we have Ranger Costello. Thank you. Okay. Well, I echo President Hayden in just the swift and consistent effort towards this, so thank you. Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Items passed.
And then one last thing is, we got 2 visitors with us from the Cook and Ham Fellows internship program. Alex and Nabila. So,
Thank
Well,
you.
welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, thank you. Did you all help with this project, the Kessler piece?
we did not.
Oh, okay, you were just acknowledging.
Yes, yes. They were here for 2 days. And so,
Oh,
yes,
Welcome.
they're floating between all the city departments.
oh.
Well, welcome. All right, the next item on the agenda is resolution number 32609, considering board approval of a memorandum of understanding with the KC Parks Foundation for the purpose of transferring funds in the amount of $100,000 to the Parks and Recreation Department to be used for renovations at the Parade Park basketball courts. Deputy Director Brad Clay.
Good afternoon, good evening. Brad Clay, Deputy Director. Phillips 66, sponsor of the NCAA Big 12 Conference, wanted to donate $100,000 for the renovation of the Parade Park basketball courts. In order to do this, Phillips 66 wanted to donate the money to a 501c3. Thus, they did put the donation through the Kansas City Parks Foundation. So the KC Parks Foundation and the Parks Department would like to enter into a grant MOU, which will essentially transfer the funds to the Parks and Rec Department for the renovations of the courts at Parade Park. Once these funds are transferred, we will enter a contract with PC Sports, which will then include the installation of a fence around the courts to provide safety from the balls rolling out into the park there. Also resurfacing the courts. Right now we have some small ponding issues, so I'll deal with the ponding issues, and then some branding of Phillips 66 branding and KCMO city branding. Staff recommends approval of the grant memorandum and allowing the foundation to transfer funds to Parks and Rec so we can proceed with this project.
For clarity, this is just renovation, not none of this is
completely
going towards
renovation.
programming initiatives. Okay.
Just renovation completely, yes.
Nice.
When was this
And that will cover
donation?
all the costs, by the way, so
Okay.
we'll be out of no cost. It'll be
Okay.
strictly from the $100,000 will cover those costs.
When originally was this donation given, or when did this start? It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah,
This money-
actually, it was at the Big 12 men's basketball tournament. Beth was there to accept the check at I think it was in between games, right?
Yep.
Yeah, in between games. But then it was the matter of trying to figure out how to get the funds
how to
to
get
us.
it.
And Phillips 66, obviously with the 501c3, thought the best means would be through the foundation.
And remind me when that game was? I'm just,
March.
so earlier this year.
Yeah, it was the second week of March.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I received the ceremonial large check. And, excited to have, when they're back next year, for us to be able to take them over there and show off some
That'd be cool.
completed improvements, so.
We'll move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Items passed. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is resolution number 32610, considering board approval of an agreement with the NIA Project and their Black Women Get Fit 2024 program for the use of the Southeast Community Center. Jennifer Jett, Superintendent of Community Services, is here to speak.
Thank you. Good evening. This is, I believe, the fifth time we've partnered with the NIA Project for Black Women Get Fit. We started in 2020 over at Greg Kleiss. So this year, September 28th, Black Women Get Fit will be over at Southeast Community Center.
Always great.
Seems great.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Items passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 32611, considering board approval of a facility use without concession agreement with the Lion Creek Figure Skating Club for the use of Lion Creek Community Center. Ms. Jett, it looks like it's figure skating season coming up.
It sure is. So as we're winding down from the summer, we're moving into fall and winter programs. So you'll see the next couple agreements are from Lion Creek Community Center. We charge each organization $300 an hour, and the total compensation for this agreement will be $64,500.
Love to see this continue. Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Items passed. Next item on the agenda is resolution number 32612, considering board approval of a facility use without concession agreement with Insomniacs Hockey Club LLC for the use of Lion Creek Community Center. Ms. Jett.
Thank you. Similar to the last agreement, we're partnering again with the Insomniacs. They're renting ice space in the later evenings for a total of $16,450.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Items passed. Next item on the agenda is resolution number 32613, considering board approval of a facility use without concession agreement with Ice Sports Consulting for the use of Lion Creek Community Center. Ms. Jett.
Thank you. So Ice Sports Consulting will be renting ice for the total of $21,000.
Right.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Items passed. Next item on the agenda is resolution number 32614, considering board approval of a facility use without concession agreement with Avila University Tennis for the use of the Minor Park tennis courts. Ms. Jett.
Okay, thank you. As I'm reading this one, it looks like we have a typo where we have it copied some of the information twice. So it's definitely not that much information. But yep, Avila University will be renting the minor course tennis courts, park tennis courts for $2,700.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Items passed. Next item on the agenda is resolution number 32615, considering board approval of a cooperative agreement with the curators of the University of Missouri on behalf of the University of Missouri Kansas City for the use of the Southeast Community Center to provide a diabetes prevention program. Ms. Jett.
Thank you. So we've partnered with UMKC for a variety of different programs. This is one of the first times we're partnering for this program. It runs Monday through Thursday for a total of 12 months of classes, and then we have the ability to renew in years to come, and the total compensation will be $2,400 per each set of classes.
Okay. This is great. Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Items passed. Next item on the agenda is resolution number 32616, considering board approval of amendment number 1 to the cooperative agreement with Truman Medical Centers Incorporated, doing business as University Health, for the use of Greg Cleiss Community Center for rehabilitative activities. Ms. Jett.
Thank you. So this is an amendment to an agreement we entered into with University Health, I believe 2 years ago at this point. This is the third year that we're entering into, and they provide services and use our facilities at Greg Cleiss, the pool and the gym space.
In that original agreement, the cooperative agreement, was there any fee associated?
There was no fee.
Okay.
And they come in during scheduled daytime hours twice a week.
Yeah. Okay. And who are the users?
The users are in the rehabilitation program, so they come in and use the facility twice a week.
All right. Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Items passed. Thanks, Jennifer. All right. Next item on the agenda is resolution number 32617, considering board approval for the use of $59,862.53 from the Parks and Recreation Special Gifts Fund to be used for the Martin Luther King Jr. Park Tennis Courts Lighting Project. Director Chris Cotton.
Yes, thank you. As you may know, the courts were recently refinished, but when they were last refurbished, the lights were changed out from metal halide to more efficient LEDs. At that time, for whatever reason, the foot candles were not taken into proper account, and the current lighting foot candles do not meet the minimum standards for recreational tennis play. The proposed solution will increase the foot candles to the higher end of the recreational spectrum. Staff recommends moving forward with this proposal.
Thank you. I know this is a project that Councilman Curls has been really interested in, so I'm glad to see it moving forward. And I drive by that tennis court, or those tennis courts every day, and they've been getting a lot of use since they've been finished. So thank you for making the hours that they can use them longer. So
What's the timeline?
It'll be about 2 weeks once they get started. I mean, the courts will still be playable, just all the lights won't work.
Great. Move to approve.
Second.
all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Items passed. The final item on the agenda is resolution number 32618, considering board approval of the renewal of a cooperative facility management funding agreement with Neighborhood and Community Services for 9901 Holmes Road with the Historical Society of New Santa Fe. Kevin Evans.
All right, good evening. This agreement dates back to about 2006, so we've been doing this for a while now. So I don't know if anybody here from Trailside? So, but anyhow, it's pretty much we reimburse them for the utilities that they use over there every month.
Great. Any questions?
For me, move to approve.
Second.
All
All in
right.
favor? Aye. Any opposed? Items passed. Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin.
All right, I will now ask Director Cotton to give the director's update.
Yes, thank you. Yes, the Kansas City Disc Golf Club hosted the Kansas City Open this past weekend and had several hundred registered players. As I just mentioned, the MLK tennis court renovations have been completed. Lighting still needs to be addressed. The Greg Kleiss pool is up and running again. A large homeless camp has been discovered off of 22nd Paseo, and cleanup work has begun. Houses cleanup took place also at Ilis Davis Park, Kessler, and Concourse Parks. Storm damage cleanup took place on Gladstone Avenue, Columbus Park, Concourse Park, Bud and Kessler Parks. The Ethnic Festival preparation began last week and continues. The Conservation Corps has been working to remove vegetation from Blue Valley Park. Staff removed dump sites at Kessler Park, Penn Valley Park, Indian Mound, and Chestnut Trafficway. The department has been awarded a $4.5 million grant for improvements in Swope Park. This requires a like match. This may come from the 5th District Geo Bond or Park Board reserves. Midwest Pool had its own internal lifeguard competition involving 13 facilities that they manage. The Bay staff were the grand champions this year. The Springs had 2 teams and took second and third place overall, and a combined team from the Gorman and Line Creek pools took the Sportsmanship Award. This is a remarkable improvement in lifeguard operations for our facilities. Gregory Boulevard resurfacing is underway. Design is complete for new pickleball courts in Hodge and Platt Purchase Park. The project will be advertised for bid soon. The first open house for Bruce Watkins Connector Park is scheduled for August 2nd from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at the Mary Williams Neal Community Center. Door and ceiling repairs are complete at Hillcrest Community Center. Plaza construction for the Brush Creek Cultural Heritage Trail is to begin this fall. On July 22nd, the Rangers assisted a gunshot victim outside of Sheffield Park and rendered basic first aid until PD and the fire department arrived. On August 5th, the Rangers detained 2 men who had stolen a pontoon boat at Riverfront Park until KCPD arrived to take them into custody. And they responded to a homicide victim in the vicinity of Fairview Park. The incident was 100 feet outside of the park. Last Monday, staff was contacted by Mayor Pro Tem Shaw about providing space in community centers for voter registration to take place, which we have accommodated. And that is my report.
Thank you. Can you just clarify, you said that the community meeting, the first community meeting on MLK Connector Park was August 2nd? What, is that date's...
I'm sorry, I'm scheduled September 2nd from
Okay,
6
great.
to
Thank you.
7:30. My mistake.
No, good, thank you. And then I want to reiterate the Swope Park grant. That was a big deal, so kudos to everyone who worked on that application. But that's a lot of money that'll be going into the park. so
Would be
that's
Richard and
exciting.
his immediate staff did that, so.
Lisa Treese.
Thank you. All right, any other?
Well, my one highlight is around how we'll be able to leverage, kudos to the leadership of Mayor Pro Tem Shaw, and how we'll be able to leverage our existing community centers to ensure that people can figure out and get registered to vote. So I think that's a really great way to use our property. So thank you for that support.
Absolutely.
And that's in partnership with the Divine Nine.
Yep.
So they will be doing a lot of the manpower on that, so we appreciate them for that, certainly. So, okay. We will now move into public hearing. Any members of the public who wish to address the board, public testimony is listed to limited to 2 minutes, and we will have a timer running, and you will need to end your testimony when that timer goes off. First is Terry Smith.
I'm not here for anything that we just covered tonight.
That is A-okay.
We were of the understanding that there was going to be something about the multi-use trail that was going to be in the minor park from the tennis courts taken to Martha Truman Road. We got this information out of the Martin City Telegraph, and they said this meeting was where we needed to go to learn more about the project. So when might we find out about that, and where will that meeting be?
We can take your information and then we can set up a meeting, but what we did is we applied for federal enhancement dollars to extend the trail from where the tennis course is down towards Martha Truman Road. We received funding for that trail segment. We've completed the construction drawings. We've submitted them to MoDOT for review, and then it will go out to bid later this year. Construction will happen in 2025 and complete it in 2025. And then we also, we have 2 grants that we received. One was from the tennis courts almost down to Martha Truman Road, and then we received another grant that got us across Blue River, and then a second grant that would connect to the Jackson County Trail, known as the old Missouri Pacific Railroad Trail. And so that would bid out in 2025.
Okay. And how might we be able to be included to address our concerns for equestrians for these areas?
I think if you have your information, we can reach out to you.
I've got her
This
address.
will be a great forum for you. I mean,
Okay.
when that comes up, you're always welcome to
Can you
come.
just write your phone, email or phone
Yeah,
number?
Sure.
yeah, we'll reach out to you.
Thank you. Gee.
And if any of the rest of you are here for that, if you want to add your email as well, then we'll make sure that if it's on a future agenda, that we give you a heads up. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate you making the time to come for this.
I've ridden these trails in these parks since the days of Frank Vadic. He was a good family friend, and so it's a great concern to us.
And I will say, anytime you're interested in what's on the docket, you can always go to our website, and that is published, so you can have access to it, and you'll see everything that we'll have on the agenda.
Very good.
Mhm.
Very good.
Thank
I'm
you
gonna
so
get
much,
them
Ms.
to sign up,
Smith.
and then who shall I hand this to?
You hand it to me when you're done.
All right.
All right, thank you.
All right, next is Jackie Brown to talk about Bruce R. Watkins. Oh, and Miss Gale.
Hello, Miss Gail. I'm Miss Brown.
Good afternoon.
Well, I need to say,
oh, I'm
Ms. Brown
sorry.
is here because I stirred up some good trouble.
What you're known for, we love it.
Okay. I went to, and I was so glad that you all mentioned something about the voter registration. I went to a program called Suppressed and Sabotaged, the Fight to Vote. It was a video that was shown at the Bruce R. Watkins. It was on John Lewis's day, Good Trouble Day. And so I was very excited, got there and became very upset because this 29-minute video took over an hour for us to see due to the very poor internet reception.
Yeah.
And this queen right here said, call them, make good trouble. I did, and the person that I spoke to, this queen right here, oh my goodness. I mean, honestly, you all should put a crown on her.
Yes.
She gave me information. She did not make excuses. She gave me good information that, hey, and come to this and let them know it. And so I came last month. I did not know the protocol. I signed in, but I didn't know I had to sign up to speak.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
But that was fine because I got a chance to observe the going on. I am hooked. I love what's going on here. I see things that are brought before you guys, and I see things that come to fruition that you all complete. I had a chance to speak with this one over here, Miss Queen, I'm sorry, Miss Stephanie, at another function, and I was just blown away and impressed by the way you guys get things done. So kudos to everyone here. I thank you so much. Oh, and I got a call from this one last night. By the way, Brad
Clay.
You.
This
All
one.
right.
This king.
I was told, hey, the internet is up and running. So I have no complaints, nothing but good things to say. Thank you all so much. And this woman here, I cannot say enough for all the information. She gave me so much information. Whenever one of you all resign, I feel like I'm ready to step up. Okay?
All right.
I'm just
That's
saying.
great to know.
Well, thank you. I mean, calls like that are the way things get done. So thank you
I see.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so
Except
much.
she's ours. Carmen's ours.
Thank you, Ms. Brown.
All right. Next is Danielle Despema
Dispenza.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I added you if you wanted to speak about your initiative a little bit.
I also brought publications. Am I okay to share those?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I did. I got the full briefing.
Can I talk while I pass out?
Please, go ahead.
My name's Danielle Dispenza.
Thank you.
I'm the Director of School Navigation. I gave you a Spanish one. That's okay. I apologize. I'm the Director of School Navigation for a local nonprofit called Show Me KC Schools. I am requesting that you all consider allowing us to install little libraries at a few of your select
There you go, ma'am.
playground park locations. For the sole purpose of being able to try to get these printed school guides that you have in front of you in the hands of families here within the Kansas City public school boundaries. I would be looking specifically at a few sites that fall within the Kansas City public school boundaries because that's where we currently have school options. Our printed publication is a snapshot of our website, but it's all in the effort of increasing school enrollment and providing the information needed for access to our various public schools here in Kansas City, which can be a really complex and confusing landscape to navigate. I'll also just highlight that we have included and increased information about early childhood, including Head Start and some of the other free programming that we have for families. So it's really about just providing information and connectivity. I already placed the guides in the Parks and Rec centers and within the Kansas City Public Library system. We have a great partnership with them as well, but I'm trying to meet families where they are, and I'm trying to ensure that I'm getting them into harder to reach zip codes that maybe don't have the public spaces as readily available. So I happen to know a few folks and was just trying to put the publications in front of you for your consideration. It would cost no money from Parks and Recs. Show Me KC Schools would be funding everything. It's really just permission to place them from you all and the proper process that I have to go through. Any questions?
Just gratitude. Thank you for, once again, leveraging these spots because that's what we want, right? This is the kind of partnership, so thank you.
Our organization's in its 10th year, so we're just trying to be creative and innovative in how we are reaching families. So thank you for your time.
If I can ask, so would the little libraries also have room then that actual books could go
Yes,
in
ma'am.
there? Okay.
And thank you for that clarification. So Show Me KC Schools would also maintain them for any repairs and any maintenance and would continue to either seek donations or I would be using part of my programming budget to purchase. That company, which is also like really fantastic if you all have ever ventured into it, but that free little library company has book bundles that you can purchase that are grade specific or adult specific. So we would definitely be focusing on early literacy and K through 12 literacy. So it would include both the school guide in English and in Spanish, and then we would make sure that they were stocked with either donations or age appropriate materials.
And what would be the maintenance? Go ahead, Commissioner.
I just wanted to commend you, Danielle, for your work, your team's work. You just do essential work, and thank you for sharing some of your space with me a few weeks ago.
Yes.
I was just blown away by this publication particularly. I'm a big maps person. So when I was able to just look at on page 16 where it really does just show sort of, all the overlap in all the different schools, and is just such an essential resource, and it's bilingual. Just thank you for all that you do to prepare our young people for success.
I appreciate that. Yeah, absolutely.
My question was related to your maintenance and schedule plan. Does that happen once a month, once a week?
Yeah, so we're a very small nonprofit, so there are 4.5 of us, and so yours truly would be the one that would be stocking those and then also making any notes on any maintenance that would need to be done to them. If it fell beyond my skill set, then I would be working on recruiting either someone to hire or volunteers. As a side note, it will likely also be an Eagle Scout project for one of our local scouts here in Kansas City, in which if approved, I would happily follow up with that. But as a parent myself, I happen to know students in many different realms, and so I have a few Eagle Scouts that are also seeking a project. So I would be purchasing them, I'd have a scout assembling and installing them, and then potentially could even utilize the scout for follow-up maintenance as well.
I'm sure the Girl Scouts, what is it, the gold medal? The highest, the silver?
Is theirs as well. And I could, yes, with the request of 4 to 5 of them, I would happily be able to provide a young lady with the opportunity to fulfill a badge as well.
Mr. Swenson?
Yes, sir.
Can we trade this in for?
Yes, I apologize.
Oh,
Okay, thank you.
I made them the same color, and that kind of fixed them up.
And Danielle, what was the website? 'Cause remember we were also on the website that helped, you could plug in your information and it'll also show it.
Yes, thank you for that. So in the front of the school guide, you'll see that we also have an interactive map that is actually both sides of state line. So it's a metro-wide map that connects families. Anyone can punch in their address and find out exactly what public school district they live in. Up until that point, I myself will use KCMO's parcel viewer to sometimes get to the brass tacks of taxes and who's paying to what school district, but families really did not have an accessible way. So we partnered with Mid-America Regional Council, created that map. You can see the print version in the front of the printed school guide. It's an interactive map on our website. Enter an address, figure out exactly what public school system you're in, which is honestly really important because for those of us who have been around Kansas City for a while, we have 14 different public school districts that serve residents of Kansas City, Missouri. So again, when we talk about being overwhelmed and just trying to find that free public service that we are all entitled to, that in of itself is a barrier that's been created.
All right, so are you clear on next steps? Are we?
We can share your contact information and we can move on with it.
Perfect. I'll share that with you. Thank you so much, you all. Have a
thank you
great
for coming, appreciate it. All right, that's everyone who signed up. Is there anyone else who? I figured. All right.
I'm late, I'm sorry.
I gotta roll.
Carmen, you have the timer. How are you?
Hi, how are you, everybody, tonight? I come to give my report today, and I'm very happy. Today is one of my happiness day of my life because we have a sport in Kansas City coming scouts or kids last Saturday, and we have 5 recruiting.
Wow.
So can you pass this, please? Thank you. And that was my purpose in the beginning, years and years and years. And now the professional Major Soccer League is looking at us. So now we have scouts from right now for Sporting KC. Maybe another day it can be Chicago, another day it can be New York, who knows? But now we start on a good process. And I just come and try to let them know what's going on because this is very important for our community. We are from the Northeast community and been working there for so long, and nobody listened for over 12 years. And after 12 years, this is happening, so that's why I'm very excited, and I want to compart with all of you guys. So thank you for letting me doing my work over there for this community, and I wish to do a new contract for me next month in September, and I will be very happy working for this community all my life. So thank you, and God bless you all. That's all I want to say.
Thank you. Mr. Rizzo, good to see you again, and that's very exciting to see the scout there, and maybe we'll get a KC scout there at some point. So.
Yes, we'll sure. Yeah, so probably in 5 years, you're going to see professional people from Kansas City playing on a Major League Soccer.
That would be really cool.
That'd be awesome.
Thank you.
I really appreciate these updates.
Yeah.
That's
Thank
very
you.
helpful.
Thank you so much, everybody. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Don't forget the photo.
No, I will.
Frame that one.
That's for you guys.
Oh, this is for us. We keep getting these good mementos. Thank
That's
you.
cool.
All right. Anyone else? Then I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Can I get a second? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
That officially means that time is over with.
Our next meeting will be held August 27th, 2024 at 2 o'clock.
Thank you.
Thank you all.